and welcome to our home here in Brittany in northwest France. If you're here for the first time, my name is Jane, my husband's Michael, and you are very, very welcome. We are early retirees living on a pension, debt and mortgage free, and we live and share our very thrifty and frugal lives with you. Let's take a look at what we're going to sit down and have a midweek money chat about today. I do love these Wednesday chats. They're often as a result of questions I've been asked, something someone has said to me, or a memory that has come to mind. And a memory that very much came to mind this week was all of those times where we struggled in the past to make ends meet. And we chose a different route. We chose the route of having less ends, of not chasing a lifestyle, but instead wanting to live a simpler life. So let's take a look at these ideas today. Now, we're all about transparency on this channel. We share either what we do or what we have done. So I need to give you the backstory. At one stage in our lives, Mike and I were really like everybody else. We just wanted what everyone else had. So we wanted a better job, we wanted a better house, we wanted a better car. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. If that's what people are doing, really, if it makes them happy, there is nothing wrong with that. However, we reached a point where to do that, we had a large car payment, we had a large mortgage, and we reached a point where we suddenly woke up one day and went, this isn't for us. This isn't for us. So at that stage, we did the very opposite that many people did. And we decided to go backwards. We decided to move to a smaller home. We decided to get a more modest car, and so on. So that's basically the story I'm going to be sharing with you today. How we downsized our lifestyle, and should you wish to, it's perfectly okay that anyone does that too. So here we're going to answer the question today of how to downsize your whole lifestyle. Let's start with the obvious one then, of lifestyle downsizing. The first thing we did was move from our 4-bedroom house to a 2-bedroom house. And you know what? The people who knew us weren't surprised. They all turned around and said, we didn't see you living in a big posh house, Jane. It wasn't you. And they were right. It wasn't us. We gave it a good try. We had the garden and the driveway and the garage. And I know that might be quite normal in some parts of the world, but that's quite posh in the UK to have those things. And it didn't suit us. And it was a relief when we moved back to a 2-bedroom terraced house. We didn't have so much to clean. We didn't have so much to look after. The place didn't cost so much to heat. The council tax or the property taxes were halved. Our mortgage halved. And our lifestyle halved. And the strange thing is that people that knew us, their attitudes towards us didn't change. You could see them going, you're where you need to be, Jane. You're where you belong. You're where you're happy. And that first part of our journey, moving back to a modest 2-bedroom terraced house, was our Kickstarter for our downsizing, our entire lifestyle. Let's tell you more about that. Part of that downsizing process meant that we owned too much stuff. And in the UK, there's always about 4 to 12 weeks on average that it takes to move from one house to another. And within that time, we did the biggest declutter of our entire lives. We got rid of so much stuff. We sold stuff. We gave things to charity shops. We used FreeCycle to just give things away. We took things to the recycling centre. But I cannot begin to say to you the weight that fell from our shoulders of just not owning so much stuff. We got rid of half our books, half our clothes, everything. And from that day, which was 2012, may I add, we've never replaced them. We didn't miss them, we didn't need it. And when I talk about downsizing our lifestyle, that meant because we had that little house, we didn't go and buy any more either. So we didn't just downsize our lifestyle in terms of what we owned, but what we spent. And because we're all about that journey of frugality and spending money wisely, that whole part of downsizing our lifestyle carried on from that moment. And what's where we are today. Let's talk more about some other aspects of downsizing our lifestyle. Okay, let's talk about how we downsized our lifestyle when it came to transport. Now, as it happens, Mike and I, as a couple, in the 25 years we've been together, have either owned no cars or one car. At one stage of our lives, we lived in the middle of a city. We had no car. We didn't need one. And if we did need a car, we would hire one or would use public transport in the main to get where we needed to go. And then when we moved to the countryside, we used public transport for one of us because we purposely bought a house on a train line. And there were also bus services, so we purposely did that. Only one of us used a car. But what we've done over the years to downsize our lifestyle is we've always had the smallest car we could possibly get away with and the cheapest and most reliable car we could possibly get away with. So, when we moved to France, we downsized our lifestyle even more. And we went to the second-hand, family-sized, I think Americans would call it a minivan. In the UK, we would call it a small people carrier. And we went to Bert the Berlingo, and he's very much like a van. And I don't think we could downsize much more from Bert the Berlingo other than getting bicycles. So, we don't care what people think of Bert the Berlingo. He's a utility vehicle. He was very handy for taking things to the recycling centre and picking up building materials when we were refurbishing our house. So there's a bit of sharing some kind of mindset about a lifestyle downsize there. And I think we're possibly going to continue with that journey when we replace Bert the Berlingo. And we might go for an even smaller car then. Now, let's talk clothes. Mike and I, when we were still working in the UK, both had jobs where we were given the opportunity to wear logoed company workwear. I worked for a school, for an academy, and we were given a fleece with logos on it, work shirts with logos on it. Mike worked for Plymouth City Council. Again, they gave him work shirts with logo and everything on it. And they were optional. But do you know what? We grabbed those. We said, yes, we will wear those. We are happy to have those. Because that downsized our wardrobes immediately. It meant we were only given 2 or 3 shirts each, means you have to wash them and wear them, wash them and wear them, and that was fine. A lot of people don't want to go down that route, and if it is optional, they can choose not to. However, we chose the easiest, cheapest, simplest route, and it meant we did not have many work clothes at all. We both of us, what a coincidence is this, had to wear some kind of dark, smart trousers and dark, smart shoes. So I would say the shoes that we wear would be the kind of shoes you would wear if you were a police officer, for example. You're on your feet all day. And then we chose the workwear option. So that really downsized our lifestyle of our wardrobe. We never had to think about, what am I going to wear to work today? And now we're retired, we've kind of slipped into a very minimalist, simple, pared back wardrobe. If you've watched this enough, you know I go for the striped t-shirt, maybe a scarf on a cooler day. Again, it's a fleece, it's a hoodie. Mike is a t-shirt and a hoodie kind of man. We both wear jeans, we both wear hiking boots. So that's something else that we have done to really, really downsize our lifestyle. And we have a very, very simple wardrobe. Suits us. We're really, really happy with that. And you know what? We don't buy clothes very often because there's only so many t-shirts you can own. Now, we moved here permanently in 2018, and it would have been very tempting to buy something bigger, grander. We chose not to. We chose to go for a modest cottage in a modest village, and that thought process also goes to how we downsized our lifestyle inside our home too. So we've gone for very simple decor. We've gone for mainly second-hand furniture, and we want to keep it that way. It would be very tempting to peruse brocantes and car boot sales and things like that and bring home all sorts of knick-knackery and pretty lovely things. And sometimes, I'll admit to you, I do have to resist the urge to bring back something pretty from the recycling centre, but I hold back. We have made this conscious decision to downsize our lifestyle, and that means we make very judicious decisions about what comes into our house, and we do everything we can to not bring in anything we don't need and keep it very simple. My next section is quite a quick one, and it's about food. And you might think, well, how do you downsize your lifestyle when it comes to food? Well, let me explain. We choose again, just like we did with our home, to live a very simple life, and that comes to food as well. So one thing that we have done to downsize our lifestyle is we have made the conscious decision to not eat out unless it's a very special occasion. So this year we took ourselves out for lunch on our wedding anniversary. And I'm quite happy to wait till our next wedding anniversary for us to go out and eat again. So when we do go out and eat anything at all, anywhere, it really is a special occasion. And that's just another example of how we have downsized our lifestyle. Next section I've downsized is beauty. Now, at one stage in my life, I used to have my hair coloured every 4 weeks. I wore makeup to work every single day. And now, as you can see, I don't do that. I do still pay for someone to wax my eyebrows, because if I take my glasses off, I can't see my own eyebrows, so I do pay for that. But in general, I've downsized all of those aspects of beauty I used to pay for. Nowadays, I'm very happy to use supermarket own brand shampoo, supermarket own brand cleanser and moisturiser. They're fine for me. So there's another aspect of my life where I have downsized my lifestyle. Let's get back to that little chat we were having at the beginning and that trajectory of growth. Now in society, getting a better job, getting a better house, getting a better car is seen in the main, but not always, in the main, as an indicator of personal success, an indicator of social status. So I absolutely understand the route that we have taken to downsize our lifestyle is not for everyone. We understand that the route of frugality, of living a simple life, of choosing to live with less is not for everybody. And as we always say, you do you, we'll do us, each to their own. More than happy with that. And we never suggest to anyone that they live our lives, we just share the life that we live. And you might be saying, well, where are you going with all of this, Jane? Where are you going with all this? All of that, downsizing our lifestyle, was the very thing that allowed us to retire in our mid-50s, debt and mortgage-free, to the lives of our dreams here in France. And that's wrapping up, I suppose, this midweek money chat of why we chose to downsize our lifestyle and why we're happy with it. Been a bit different this week, hasn't it? No hints, no tips, no advice, nothing. Just sharing with you, just chatting with you. If you've enjoyed this chat, go on, make sure you give it a like. If you're not a subscriber, would you consider hitting the subscribe button and the little bell that notifies you, because we make several new videos every single week. Just leaves me to say thank you very much to everybody who watches. We genuinely appreciate every single one of you, and we'll see you again very soon. Goodbye for now.